Not for me to be streaming on the way home.
Right?
It's not going to happen. All right, we're live. All right, hello. I would say welcome back, but I don't think anybody joined that last stream, which is probably for the best because the internet wasn't working. So I think we're in and we're here and we're good. I'm Miss Tiff. This is Locked In, the salon, the YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the biggest problem in black hair care. In the natural hair community, there is a big problem. And as much as I talk about it, which I feel like I talk about it a lot, especially here, I talk about it a lot here because people are constantly asking me. But it's a big problem, and a few people asked me about it last week, and I was like, oh, I guess I need to do another video because it's not sinking in. So the question that stands out most is one of my clients who I've been doing for a long time, and he doesn't use any products or anything in his hair, but and he's got locks. He's only got locks on the top, yeah. So he was asking me what he could do about the sides and the back, because he was saying that the sides and the back of his head be itching like crazy and it be flaking like crazy, and he doesn't use anything on it. And I asked him, what does the barber use? Because he goes and gets it shaved, and he's like, I don't think he uses anything. Said I tell him not to do any enhancements, which usually it wouldn't be enhancements that would cause it, I don't think. But anything covering your scalp might. So we're gonna talk about the biggest problem. And the biggest problem is, I think, consumerism. No, I think the biggest problem is, well, of course, oil, which is why it's on the wall over there in bright, big, huge letters. No oil, as big as you can possibly get it. Because trust me, I tried to get bigger and that's all they could do. It's the products. It's really not even just oil. It's the products, and it's the feel like you need a product. It's the fact that we've been taught that you have to use something in the first place. And it all goes against science. So that's what we're going to talk about is science. Science states that your skin is shedding every day. 500 million, okay, 500 million dead skin cells all over your body every day are shedding. So your scalp is also skin. And so dead skin cells are shedding there too. And what was I saying earlier? If you're shedding 500 million dead skin cells every day off your whole entire body, your scalp's got to have at least, I don't know, 10, 20,000 worth of those. So that means that you've got hundreds of thousands of dead skin cells coming out of your scalp in a week. So if you got all these dead skin cells coming out, I think he asked me, what should he use for the itching and the flaking? Yeah. And what it is, and what after I asked him a bunch of questions, trying to find out if he was using something, because if you're using something, you're gonna make it happen faster. Yeah. Whatever's happening on your scalp is gonna happen faster if you use anything. Yeah. And so, I asked him a bunch of questions. He basically hadn't been using anything. So ultimately what it boiled down to is, his scalp with the locks on it has gotten used to not getting washed every day but the sides and back are not used to that. So he's not washing the sides and back until he gets his hair washed. Mm-hmm. Well, and what he was noticing is he go to the barber in between time, and when they cut it, it'd be flakes everywhere. Oh. And so he's like, what can he use? That's a big problem. Because the fact that that's even our first question is a big problem. There is nothing for you to use. You don't want to use anything. To get rid of those flakes, it's dead skin cells coming out of your body. When you got dead skin cells coming out of your body, and that's not all. You got dead skin cells coming out of your body. You've got oil. It's called sebum. Look it up. You got oil that your body makes based off of what you eat. The healthier your diet, probably the cleaner your scalp's going to be. But the more unhealthy your diet, probably the dirtier your scalp's going to be because of the stuff that it is making on its own. So dead skin cells, got dead skin cells coming out every day. You got oil that your scalp is making every day. When those two mix together, the dead skin cells that are supposed to be microscopic clump together because oil is sticky. The oil that your scalp makes is already sticky. It's going to clump together with those dead skin cells, and it's going to make flakes. It's going to make visible flakes because the dead skin cells, when they first flake away, are microscopic. You can't really see them except you shake it out and you can see little flakes falling. But once they mix with the oil that your scalp makes, then they get clump together and they get bigger and they get visible. So if you're seeing visible flakes, you got to think about when's the last time you got your hair washed. Like, that's the most important thing. The most important thing is not my scalp is itchy, I see flakes, what can I use? The most important thing is my scalp is itchy, I see flakes, I need to clean my scalp. There's something there and it needs to come out. 9 times out of 10, it came from your own body unless you put something there. So if you didn't put anything there and you know it should be clean, but most people aren't itchy and flaky right after they wash it. They're usually itchy and flaky 4 or 5 weeks after. Why are they not itchy and flaky all over their body? Because they've been washing those dead skin cells and that oil away every day. Right. Since you're not washing the dead skin cells and the oil away every day off of your scalp, you have to find other ways to clean it off. But adding something to it is not going to help. Especially since we talked about the 2 things coming out. There's 3 things coming out of your scalp every day. Does anybody in the chat know what that is? Somebody in the chat. Does anybody know what the 3rd thing is coming out of your scalp? Sweat. And sweat, if you look it up, sweat is how your body carries toxins out of your body. So because some people's natural oils that their body makes don't itch them. It might flake up if it sticks with too many dead skin cells, but it might not really be itchy, right? But when that sweat comes out, it's almost always itchy because sweat is carrying toxins. Sweat is trying to get gross stuff out of your body, stuff you don't need. So now we've got dead skin cells accumulating daily. We got oil accumulating daily. And we have sweat accumulating, I guess, whenever we work out or get too hot. So you got all these different things that when they are on your scalp and present are very itchy. So adding anything to that is going to cause a problem. It's really just going to make what's already a problem worse because your dead skin cells and your oil and your sweat is already very itchy and irritating. And so adding to that is like fuel to the fire. You got a fire that's going on. You got dead skin cells flaking up, clumping together, all of this stuff. I can put oil on it. It might feel okay in that moment, like, because the oil's cool, nice cool feeling. Is it going to help anything? No, actually, it's taking your problem and making it worse. It's taking a fire and pouring gasoline on it. So, I hope that was helpful. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. Let me see. So anyway, ultimately what I told that client, because he's got the back and side shaved, his scalp on the top is not, the part where he has locks is not really bothering him. It's used to not getting cleaned that often, but I'm sure he's cleaning his face. The top of his scalp is like, ooh, what about me? I mean, the sides and back of his head is like, ooh, what about me? I'm here. So whenever the barber's going in and cutting, he's exposing all those flakes because that hair just hasn't been washed. So what I told him to do was just wash it. Put your hair in a bun, because his hair is long now. Put your hair up in a bun and wash the sides and back, because you can. There's no locks there. You can just go ahead and wash it. The top's not bothered. If the top was bothered, the recommendation would still be the same. If the top is itching and flaking, you know what time it is. It's time to wash it. Mm-hmm. No amount of oil I can sell you is going to fix that.
You told me to use a wash rag as well.
A wash rag, yes. So when the first couple of days, when your scalp is, the first couple of days after you wash it, dead skin cells are already coming. So like I recommend shaking it out regularly. Like just shake it out daily. Even if it's gross to you, then shake it out on the back porch. You know, shake it out somewhere where those dead skin cells are going to end up outside. But I assure you, you're walking and breathing dead skin cells every day anyway. Right. You're walking through dead skin cells when you the analogy I like to use, because when you go to your grandma's house, right, and she got the grandma's houses be dusty. I don't know why. But when you go to your grandma's house and you just see all that dust just floating through the air past the window, those are all your family members' dead skin cells for the past 30 years. 30 years of skin cells. So not only do you have dead skin cells on your scalp coming out, but you're walking through dead skin cells every day. Like, so when people are like, my hair is dry, and it's like, it was dry when you left the salon. So that's normal. So let's discuss what the actual problem is. Well, it looks dull and dusty, and it feels stiff and hard. Listen to your words. It's dull and dusty because you've been walking through dust every day. It's collecting dust. So I tell people, like, especially if they work in environments that got like a lot of sawdust and crap flying around. Like some of these guys have jobs in these warehouses and they got crap flying all around. Wear a do-rag. Like, cover your hair anywhere that you are that you don't want to be collecting dust. Cover your hair and then you won't be collecting dust. Because I assure you that anytime your head is uncovered, it is collecting dust. Because there's dust floating around us. We can't see it. It's dead skin cells. It's collecting other people's dead skin cells.
That's so dry too, right? Because it's so dry sometimes.
I mean, different people have different issues. I know that my face was broke out real bad a couple weeks ago, but what I found so many times is that whenever I'm having like some kind of weird reaction where I'm flaking up or like itching and stuff, I done ate something. Usually my face breaks out from food all the time, and it sucks, but it's part of how I got here, because when I first was trying to fix my skin issues, I was putting stuff on it. You go to the hair store or the beauty supply, you find like retinol or eye creams or all this eczema creams and stuff, and I'm putting this stuff on. It's not doing anything. I went to the dermatologist, they gave me something to put on it, wasn't doing anything. But once I literally like stopped eating everything and just started introducing foods back one by one, I was able to figure out like which foods were causing it. So now I still eat those foods sometimes, but when it starts to flare up, I stop eating them. And then I stop for a few days and boom, it goes away. So that's how I figured out that a lot of our issues are internal, and then I started thinking about why. Well, it's 500 million dead skin cells a day. 500 million, that's a lot. Off of this little body. Yeah, little, hilarious. So yeah, it's a lot of skin cells coming off. You can't oil them away. You have to wash them away, shake them away, wet washcloth, wipe them away. I don't care how you get them off. It's so funny because when I was going on this journey of figuring out that oil was the biggest problem, it started because I used to wear my hair straight, and I would tell whoever was flat ironing my hair, if I was getting somebody else to do it, don't put no oil sheen in my hair. Don't put no shine spray in my hair. Don't put no kind of nothing in my hair besides the heat and deep conditioning, because any kind of oil will weigh my little flat iron. My flat iron, I like my hair to move, you know? Right. And my flat iron, if you put oil on it, would be just as stiff and hard. And then I couldn't comb it, and I tried to wrap it, and it was hard to comb because the hair stuck together with this oil. And that's when it first occurred to me that like oil is causing problems. Like oil is, like even one time I was trying to test my own theories, okay? And because normally when I would wear my hair curly, I would wash it in the shower, and then I would put like cheap conditioner, like Suave cheap conditioner on it.
VO5.
Yes, VO5. Any of the cheapest, like Pantene, the cheapest conditioners you can find, that's what I would use, because the expensive conditioners are actually doing something. But the cheap conditioners are literally like, you're wasting your money. But for me, I use it as a styling aid, and I would put this cheap conditioner on my hair, and then I would put gel on it. And so, I mean, it would get a little bit crunchy, but if I touched it, the crunch would flake away, and then the conditioner would flake away, and then it would just turn poof back into afro. But I could keep my hair looking like curls all day if I don't touch it. If I don't touch it and I put that conditioner and then that gel on it and then don't touch it, it would look curly, hangy curls all day, even swingable. Wow. Defined curls. But if I touched it, all the product would flake away and then it'd be afro again. It was crazy. But I wore it like that for a long time, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can wear this style with Blue Magic, because why shouldn't I be able to wear this style with Blue Magic? I should be able to just wash my hair, put oil on my hair, and then just wear it like this, because they still selling it. People still swearing by it, so it must work. When I tell you, first of all, water and oil don't mix, okay? So if your hair is wet, like I can take my wet hair and put conditioner on it, it will stay wet. I put the gel on it, it will stay wet, then it would air dry, and I would have these curls. Yeah. But you can't put Blue Magic on wet hair. Like I put the Blue Magic on my hands, I rub my hands together. The hair is wet. I put my hands on my hair. I got Blue Magic still all over my damn hand because water and oil don't mix. So I have to like dry my hair up a little bit to even put the oil on. Well, once I dry my hair up a little bit, it's starting to look like afro. It's not hanging no more. So I got Basically, what I ended up with was a greasy afro, which is fine. Okay,
Wow.
I ended up with a greasy afro for that day. Okay, let's try something else the next day. Next day, I wet my hair in the shower, which I normally would do with the conditioner. I would just wet it, put more conditioner on. I wouldn't have to wash it every single day. I would just wash it that one day. I usually would be able to do it for like 2 weeks. I'm telling you, at the end of the 2 weeks, it was the cutest, but then it
Right.
started getting greasy with
Right.
my own natural grease. So I
That's
have to wash it
crazy.
again. But anyway, so I would just rinse it and put conditioner back on.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring, rinse it again, put some more Blue Magic on, see what happens. Because I know I got to rinse it to get it to look curly again anyway, because it's afro. And 9 times out of 10, if I slept on it, now it's a smushed afro. Anyway, moving on. So I get distracted. Okay. So, again, can't get Blue Magic onto wet hair, but I couldn't get my shower comb. So when I would wet my hair, I would run my shower comb, which is a big wide tooth comb with a hook on the end and hang up in the shower. When I tell you I couldn't get this big wide tooth comb to go through my hair, that don't make sense. When my hair is wet,
Wow.
I can comb it easily. Like,
Right
and it was
through.
short, so it should be easy to comb through. I could not get that comb through my hair. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is a problem.
Wow.
Because we got people out here thinking Blue Magic is, helping their hair grow. Okay? Whole time, you can't comb it. So if you try to comb it with Blue Magic in, you're breaking your hair. And I was like, oh no. So what I did, of course, was get back in the shower, wash as good as I could, get that Blue Magic out my hair, and then do my regular with the conditioner and stuff. Because even though, remember I told you, if I touch it, it turned back into afro and poof, I can turn my whole head back into afro, let it poof, and I can put my fingers in my head and run my fingers through my hair. I could not run my fingers through my hair with that Blue Magic in. I had to wash it out.
and
And
it's
then
heavy.
it was hard to get out. Literally, I think I had to wash it like 3 days in a row for it to stop sticking and clumping together. Like, horrible. So,
And it's super heavy.
super heavy, but don't hold my curls. What are you heavy for? You heavy for nothing. Making my hair all brittle and stiff and hard. I don't like it.
I'm going 2 years,
no good.
no oil, no grease, nothing.
2 years, no oil, no grease, no nothing. No, and
honestly,
it
my
went out.
flake storms don't come in until my hair is like,
until it's time to wash.
yeah, like
See?
you need to wash.
That's what I'm saying. So, and the thing about it is that all of our hair is different. Like, the tighter the curl, the longer you can go without washing it.
Yeah.
You got this silky stuff. The silkier the hair, I do too. The silkier the hair, the looser the curl,
Yeah.
the faster it's making the oil. The
Yeah.
oil is really the problem. So the oil is the problem that you're making. The
Yeah.
oil that you're making is already a problem all by itself. Oh shoot, this ain't what I was planning on doing. See, messing me up. Oh no, this is fine. This will work.
Sorry.
It will, because I already know what I'm doing, but yeah. Okay, so anyways, oil is a problem. Stop putting it on your hair. It's breaking your hair off. It makes it brittle. It makes it hard. You know what I noticed? I was standing in a line at Sally's, and they had like those little sample packs of some kind of like hot 6 oil or something. And the package said on the front, it said dry brittle hair. And what I thought was funny, because have you heard of the thing about universal law where the people that are lying to you have to tell you the truth some kind of way?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it'll come through movies or it'll come through different TV shows and stuff. Whereas on the news, they're acting like it's just a made up thing.
Right.
So what I noticed about a lot of the hair products is they aren't necessarily saying use this product if you have dry brittle hair. They're saying use this product and you'll have dry brittle hair, because all I saw was dry brittle hair, and I'm thinking that's exactly what's gonna happen if I use this. So,
That is hilarious.
yeah. Because if anything makes your hair dry, and I need us to really think about this scientifically, because dry hair is normal, and so I'm never gonna tell you that dry hair is a problem, because your hair's supposed to be dry. Walking around wet would be a problem, because then you'll be a mildew factory. So walking around wet would be a problem. Being dry is not a problem. Your body is dry, your hair is dry. It's supposed to be dry. When what they're calling dry on the commercials is not dry at all. It's dirty. It's not dry, it's dirty. Okay, so we got that clear. So whenever somebody's talking about something making their hair dry, it's like, if anything's gonna make your hair dry, it's gonna be something that blocks moisture. Oil and water don't mix. If you have an abundance of oil, you can't get something wet. If you have an abundance of water, you can't get oil on it.
Right.
It's like what I was doing with the Blue Magic. So, by that standard, putting oil on your hair would make it dry. Putting oil would cause dryness, if dryness was a bad thing. If dryness was a bad thing, putting oil there would be. So now, here's the thing. I know that there are some people that hair is completely saturated in oil because they've been using it since they started their locks. Their locks started short. They got them all the way down their back now. They're
They
heavy.
think it's all on oil.
They're heavy, but I mean, it's full of oil. And like me, at this stage in my life, like if I was to meet this person, the only amount of oil I would be able to get out was right here close to the scalp because when I twist that, the oil would come out, I would wipe it off because I don't want to dry it. It's
Right.
gross. But those people, I want to say this because I don't want to be a hater. If you wanted to block all moisture from ever getting in your hair, then you should use oil. You should completely saturate your hair with oil because then it will never get wet.
Right.
How could it get wet when oil is a blocking shield for water? Here we go. So if you want the driest hair possible, you never want to be soaked with water because it won't get, I'm telling you, if you cover your hair in oil to the point where all your locks are completely full of it, it's a real oil shield. You could like go in a pool and come out completely dry.
That's crazy.
I don't recommend it, but you could. And I don't want to be a hater and be like, some people might like that. I know some people will argue with me on the internet about drying the hair, right? And it causes mildew or whatever. I assure you that not drying your hair will cause mildew. Unless, so here's another positive to oil. Unless you cover it in oil. Then it won't even get wet. So how can it mildew?
Right.
So if we're worried about mildew, as a thing, because I've had people argue with me like, I air dry my hair all the time and it never grows mildew. And here's my thing. I would need to smell you to verify that. I'm just saying, I would need to do your hair and then, because it's going to be in my hands. I'm going to smell it in my hands if there's mildew or mold there. But if your hair is completely saturated with oil, it can't get wet. So there's no way for it to get moldy, but can't get clean either. Can't wash it, and that's gross. I'm sorry. Especially with what I've seen with cleaning oil out and how it comes out like black sludge. That's my least favorite part, is the coming out of like black sludge. And then, the clogging of the drains. But yeah, let's get back on topic. You can't comb hair that's been oiled. It's just gonna break. And that's the biggest problem with our natural hair. The reason why, and I'm glad we've gotten some 22 minutes in, so maybe the algorithms won't hear it, but it's been the reason why other races and cultures think black people's hair don't grow. It most certainly does grow, but the stuff that they're pushing for us to use is what causes it to break. Because I've heard people talk about it's retention that you want, because it's gonna grow. Hair grows 1/2 inch to 1 inch a month. You can't change that except for with trauma, and that's gonna make it grow less. There's always a product. This is the biggest problem that I have with the YouTube natural hair community is that you'll see a girl with long natural hair, right? And she'll say, yes, black people can grow their hair. Look how long my hair is. Look how healthy it is. And then she'll hold up a product that she's, I'm sure, been told to sell, right? She's been paid, or, whatever the brand deals are that they do. And she'll say, this is the product. But if it's oil, that ain't the product. That's not what she's using. She might be selling that, but that is not what she's using. And now that I've done a couple brand deals, I can say that with absolute certainty. That just because she's selling it doesn't mean that she's using it. Just because she says that it's good and this is what she used to grow her hair does not mean that she did. And 9 times out of 10, she didn't, if it's an oil, because I promise you, oils don't grow your hair. Your hair grows if you're healthy. Wow. And it grows. As long as you're healthy, the hair's growing. Actually, hair not growing is a good sign to let you know when you're not healthy. Nails not growing, hair not growing, it's a good sign something's going on. So, because it's going to grow. If it's breaking faster than it's growing, or as fast as it's growing, it's never going to look like it's growing, and that's where oil comes in. Oil comes in to steal our hair. Oil and combs, which is why you should lock it. I'm not saying that you should lock it, but you should lock it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
But, because combs are a problem too, especially oil plus combs, because now the hair's clumped together and you try to comb it. Disaster. So that's why so many little girls don't have hair when their brothers, listen, their brothers, little boys are running around the projects with huge afro puffs, okay? And then the little girls aren't. You know why? because the little girl's constantly got to get something done to their hair. She's getting oiled every other Thursday. She's getting pressed out on the weekends. She's getting all these styles. The little boy literally gets put in that Afro puff, and then it's rough, but it's in that Afro puff for weeks, just in that rough Afro puff. But anyway, pay attention to the commercials. When somebody's selling you something, pay attention to the commercials, because when the commercial, look, I'm gonna have to use your hand because I'm extra pale around here. But when the commercials are for, okay, you show yours. When the commercials are for us, I'm included. I know you can't tell right now, but I am. But when the commercials are for us, they say itchy, flaky scalp, use this oil. And when the commercial are for these, the commercial says dry, itchy, flaky scalp. They don't even say dry. Itchy, flaky scalp, use this shampoo. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I hope that this video was helpful to somebody. Once again, oil is bad, okay? Don't use it. It's bad for you. I'm probably gonna get demonetized on this video because they wanna sell oil on my commercials. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I've been trying to tell y'all for years not to use it. This is probably my last video for a while about it, just because they demonetized the last few videos I made about it. Don't use it. It's bad for you. Your hair doesn't like it. All right, I hope that helps. Have a good one. Bye.